مبدئي وأصوله بالرغم ممن يجحد الله ربي واحد وأنا بذلك أشهد ذا مبدئي وأصوله بالرغم ممن يجحد.
Suhaib Webb.
Assalamu alaikum. Rakim who? Wow. Actually, he forgot something in the bio, and that's student of Imam Siraj. Right? And I put that there. Brothers and sisters, it's great to be here in New York, alhamdulillah. And I was asked to think of a theme, and I couldn't think of a theme because really the importance of Imam Siraj in my life and Masjid Taqwa is very hard for me to define. And how many of us in here became Muslim, accepted Islam? A lot of us became Muslim with books, but we maintained our Islam with men and women. And one of those men that Allah blessed to be a pillar for those of us, the Das FX generation, was Imam Siraj and Masjid Taqwa. And the theme that I will just touch on briefly is mentorship. And this takes on a greater meaning to me because a teacher of mine was killed yesterday in Egypt, Sheikh Imam Effat, rahimahullah, who was shot. The bullet came 20 centimeters under his arm and left 20 centimeters under his armpit on the other side. And those of you from, you know what that means. Now, Sheikh Imam was a mentor to us. He's someone who memorized the Quran with the Tariqa Shatabiyyah, the 10 qira'at, he had mastered them. He had reached the level of a mufti in the Shafi'i madhab. He was a scholar of Tasawwuf. But more importantly, for those of us, I worked in Dar Iftah, his office was next to mine. He was someone that invested his time in a person. You would go to his office and knock on the door, and Sheikh Imam would say, sit down, ask a question the right way, and answer the question, and then tell you, explain to me the answer. Now that takes on a special meaning to me because I consider my Sheikh, my Murshid in America is Imam Siraj Wahhaj. I may not have taken physical bay'ah, which I can do, but in 1993, I took spiritual bay'ah to him because I heard a cassette about smoking weed. And I said to myself, who's this person who has, we say it in the right way, but has enough guts to speak to those of us who became Muslim from a certain environment? Who is this man? And then I asked my teacher from Senegal, Abu Mustafa, Hafizahullah, and he said, this is the Imam of America. He said, this man is the Imam of America. This was in 1993, by the way. Other great Imams, Imam Hamza Yusuf, who's here, Hafizahullah, Imam Zaid Shakir, Dr. Sherman Jackson, Imam Qasim, Imam Warasadi Muhammad. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make tanweer of his qabr. These are people that as converts, we are extremely indebted to. Dr. Ingrid Madison, Layla Muhammad, the list can go on. We did not maintain our Islam necessarily with books. We've been able to manage and navigate this storm with men and women that Allah used as tools to keep our hearts lit in the darkness of the night of kufr. So asking me to define Siraj Wahhaj and Masjid Taqwa, the greatest honor of my life as an American Muslim after memorizing God's book was to stand on his minbar and give the khutbah. And when you ask me, I start shaking, man. How on earth am I going to stand on the reefer minbar? We call it the chronic, you call it reefers. You mentioned Al Green, we mentioned Keith Sweat. But that was an honor for me, Imam. And he knows, when we talk on the phone, he will always tell me, Allah knows how much I love you. And I can't respond because Allah knows how much I love this man and that community. And I just want to make 2 points. Number one is that, have you ever met someone that doesn't like Imam Suhaib Webb besides Daniel Pipes? And I heard even Daniel's flipping the script, yeah? And we have the hadith of our master Abu Hurairah, as well as around 9 other companions who mentioned that the Prophet said, إِذَا أَحَبَّ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى عَبْدًا, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves his servant. He announces that, he pronounces that to everyone in the heavens, to Jibreel, and then to everyone in the heavens. And that love spreads, ثُمَّ يَدَعُوا لَهُ الْقُبُورُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And then that love reaches the heart of the ibad, the servants of God. Number one is that Imam Suhaib Webb has always been, in Masjid Taqwa, a source of unity in bringing the Muslims together. Number two, the mentorship that he's given to me, because we stand on the shoulders of giants. We stand on the shoulders of Sheikh Hamza. How many of us never would have thought of Matan ibn Ashur if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had not blessed us to be close to someone like Imam Hamza? How many of us would have thought about studying in Sham if it wasn't for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sparking someone like Imam Zayd? How many of us would have thought about studying traditionally and then going into the academy if it wasn't for someone like Dr. Sherman Jackson or Dr. Ingrid Madison? And I want our young generation to remember never to speak ill of these people, never to have rancor against these people. Imam Talib, Rashid in Harlem, and his sheikh who studied in Azhar University, Sheikh Tawfiq, rahimahullah. We stand on the shoulders of giants. Imam W.D. Muhammad, who when a woman came to him and said, I learned Arabic to teach, he said no, to make dawah. He said, no, you learn Arabic to worship Allah. You learn Spanish if you want to make dawah. My generation, we can't drop it like that. Buddha can drop it like that. That's the exception to the rule. But that means that the younger generation of imams and sisters, we have a great responsibility. Because standing on the shoulders of giants doesn't come without tax. And what we learn from his mentorship is to stay with the people. To stay in Marcy, in Fort Greene. To go to the projects every Sunday and make dawah to the people. So while he's flying around all over America with his mixtapes every Sunday, and his inspiration is such, when I was in Masjid Taqwa, the 82-year-old brother, Pakistani brother, I can't remember his name. This brother is 82 years old. He said, by knowing the Imam and being in this community, Masjid Taqwa, no immigrant, no indigenous dichotomy. He told me, I have been going to the projects and making dawah with Imam Suhaib since 1983. This man is 82 years old. Humility. A mentor has to be humble. And Sheikh Ahmed, Sayyid Ahmed al-Rafa'i, rahimahullah, he said, I looked at all the popular ways that people use to go to Allah. And I saw that it was muzdahima, that there was a lot of people there. He said, but I looked to the way of tadhallul wal inkisar. I looked to humility and crushing one's soul and ego. And he said, فَهِيَ فَارِغٌ, and it was empty. Imam Suhaib is someone who keeps it real. Masjid Taqwa is an entity that keeps it real. And that's the last point I make as up-and-coming young bucks, Thundercats. You cannot be blinded by the celebrity imam stuff. You have to stay with our people. You have to be, as Kenny Gamble, Chan told me last week, staying with the people requires bravery. Staying with the people requires trust in Allah. Doing what he did in South Philly and doing what you brothers were blessed to do in Brooklyn. That requires a relationship with Allah that cannot be defined. And the last thing is that all of this exemplifies the greatness of our Master Muhammad. Azir Din Abdul Salam, he said, any good deed that the Ummah does, and any great man or woman that the Ummah produces, all is linked back to Al-Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So when we love you, we love the Prophet. And when we support Masjid al-Taqwa, we support the cause of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I want to encourage everyone here. This is Imam Siraj, man. This is Masjid Taqwa. When you asked me to come, what did I write back? Wajib. Imam, he laced it real nice. No, brother, no. Assalamu alaikum, how you been? You come, wajib. Because we love this, man. We love your community. May Allah bless all of you. Assalamu alaikum.